chasing new worldly possessions. Flesh making, spirit breaking, which one would you listen? The better part, the human heart, you love them or dissect them. Happiness or flashiness, how do you serve the question? See, in the perfect world, I would be perfect world. I don't trust people enough beyond their surface world. I don't love people enough to put my faith in man. I put my faith in these lyrics, hoping I make a band. I understand I ain't perfect, I probably won't come around this time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is what I like.
Yeah. The new Chapman Radio. More of today's hit music starts now.
Whoa, almost missed you there. Make sure to check out all of our scheduled shows. You're bound to find something you like. ChapmanRadio.live/schedule.
So you're a cool priest, are you?
A cool priest?
Yeah.
No, I'm a big reader with no friends. Are you a cool person?
Big readers with no friends? You'll fit right in. Tune in to Spoiler Alert Mondays at 4, where we talk books and playlists. Romance, fantasy, sci-fi, mystery, we have it all on Spoiler Alert. Only on Chapman Radio, online, or on the app.
I'm a dancing with myself when there's no one else inside. In the crowd and lonely.
You are now tuned in to Young Dumb Geeks.
Young Dumb Geeks, I'm coming in the season. Heard they in the bag, that's where you can catch us speaking. Readers and fucking on your bitch and we teasing. Yeah, we can see it, yeah, we gonna please it. Me and Max will walk around and everybody notice. We jump everywhere, swear I always stay focused. Always stay focused, he say always stay focused. Everybody know us, they say that we go there.
Brand new banger.
Young Dumb Geeked.
Yo, 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 yo.
Hello there, Young Dumb Geek listeners.
Who's up and listening to Young Dumb Geeked right now?
Yeah, make sure you comment on our Instagram post right now if you're tuned in.
Yep.
Say the catchphrase, I'm here, let's do it.
Yep.
Comment that on our Instagram.
Tell them Jackson sent you.
Tell them Jackson sent you.
I'm here, let's do it. Well, first of all, welcome back.
Hello.
Last week we did a little bit of, I feel like we've been on an academia ride, so to speak.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of just the guys that we are.
Right.
We're academics. Absolutely honest.
We're scholastic in many ways.
Yeah. Last week we did our IQ test and did our collective IQ, and sure enough, as we all knew, when our collective IQ is off the charts.
Sorry, I forgot we're smart.
But this week we have something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
On the same vein of academics, however, it should be noted that we're all graduating next month, hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed, guys.
Yeah. We're all graduating next month, which means Young Dumb Geeked will no longer be the star of Chapman Radio after that. Yeah, I know.
It's such a sad day.
It's a sad day.
Yeah, Chapman Radio is going to be flopping pretty much next year, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best of luck to our shows. Good luck filling our boots.
Mm-hmm. And go Panthers.
However, as we conclude our 4-year term at Chapman, I feel like I speak for everyone here when I say we've learned a lot from our time.
And not in class.
Nothing
in class.
I have not learned much in class here.
Yeah, I think a lot of our learning has come from our personal adventures. Exactly. Street smarts, if you will. Campus smarts, one could say.
The streets of Orange, California.
Yeah.
The dangerous, rough streets of Orange, California.
Slightly dirty.
Not
too dirty.
But I feel like we all have important life lessons that there might be some freshmen tuning in either on YouTube or on the website, web player.
There should be. I tagged y'all on the promo.
Yeah, Jack
Class of 2028. I'm calling out to you. If you're here listening,
tag them on
I did. I said, if you're class of 2028, comment on our Instagram. Say class of 2028. Let's get it done.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully we get 20 comments like that. But
yeah, probably more.
28 comments.
Even if you're not incoming class of 2028, I think that any college student can learn something from tonight's episode.
Yeah, because frankly, not a lot of college students have been doing it like us. So even if you're a senior, you're one of our peers, you have, a month left?
Right.
You should probably sit down and listen your ass up, because we're definitely going to be dropping some knowledge that might profoundly change your college experience, even in, the twilight days.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth internalizing all of this because it will greatly affect this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tonight we're gonna go around. We're gonna talk about what we've learned, give some stories, and give some life lessons about college and academia in general. But also, we encourage you guys at some point later on the show to call in with your own stories and advice, and we can kind of collectively either agree or disagree on whether that's valid and sound advice or not.
It better be valid, though.
Also, if you're listening on the website, we're also streaming on YouTube tonight.
Right. We're on YouTube. Look up Chapman Radio.
So if you want to see our beautiful faces.
Yeah. You want to see the Marlowe cam? We got
we got the Marlowe cam. It's just Marlowe.
This is an exclusive for tonight, so you guys need to come on and just witness this.
Yeah. Right.
It's special.
We got the Marlowe cam going. Chapman Radio YouTube. Again, chapmanradio.live is our website, or the Chapman Radio app on Google and iOS stores to tune in. Yep. But enough with the promo. Let's get right into it. Jack in the car ride over was giving some great points about, his time at Chapman, specifically with Zoom. And I think that's something to bring up because, even though we're past the pandemic, inevitably speaking, every college student is going to have one remote class session where you meet on Zoom.
True.
And so I think it's important to understand the ethics of that. And I think Jack has some advice and a story to go with it about that.
Y'all, I learned the hard way. I really did.
What do you mean?
If you think you're too good for class, you're not. Okay?
Okay.
I was in this visual storytelling class. It was first semester at Chapman, maybe second month. And I'm playing chess in the other tab, as I do. It was really disrespectful of me, so I'm sorry.
Who's the professor?
I don't remember what his name was. No, it was something with a W, like Wysocki.
Oh, Wysocki. Yeah, Wysocki. Yeah, you're right.
So maybe you were in this class, or you had him a different section.
No.
But we were on Zoom, and I was playing chess, and I blundered. I made a bad move, and I lost my queen, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, "Fuck!" Like that, exactly like that, really loud.
Yep.
Little did I know, I was unmuted. I was unmuted, and the professor stopped the class and he was like, "Who said that? Who said that?" And I just muted myself immediately. And he just kept asking who said that? Who said that? He's like, "So whoever said that, whoever said the F word is not going to come forward." Obviously, I didn't come forward because why would I do that?
And your camera turned on?
No, I don't think I have my camera turned on. But you know how on Zoom, he was doing he was sharing his screen or some shit. So up in the corner, it shows whoever's talking.
Yeah.
So it definitely just flashed me up there right when that happened. But yeah, I've never been so mortified. And yeah, I think the lesson there is just
don't take responsibility.
Is that you're not too cool for class.
No.
I thought I was the shit because I was like, fuck this, I don't need to learn this.
Have you guys ever
boring?
Slept through a Zoom class and
yes.
woken up 3 hours later and you're the last person.
That's so bad.
Person in the class. I was gonna say
Fratini 4 times.
Yeah. During my freshman year when I was remote in Seattle for my one of my GE classes on media, I don't know, media studies or whatever. We had class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. and it was on Zoom obviously, and it was a pretty interactive class. He would ask questions and to get credit you had to answer.
Yeah.
So I didn't do very well in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I would stay half awake because sometimes we talk about cool shit like music and video games and whatnot. But specifically, I remember one class day, I was just tired as fuck. I had been up all night playing video games with my friends and
stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, that's how I felt afterwards. That's basically what the professor told me.
Right.
I fell asleep. It was only an hour 15, hour and a half long class. But I fell asleep as soon as I got on. Well, obviously my camera's off, so it didn't really matter. I woke up to the professor yelling my name.
Jackson.
He probably thought something was seriously wrong.
Yeah. And there was
you'd
still
have a stroke during class.
Yeah, it was at the end of class when we were going into breakout rooms, and I just didn't accept the invite.
So you were just
so were there other people in the class?
There was 2 other people in the general session, just the people I was supposed to be in the breakout room with, just sitting there. He's like, Jackson, and he was like, "Are you asleep right now?" And I was like, "Hey, sorry, I literally said my Wi-Fi wasn't working.
Have you ever woken up as well with someone else who's also asleep in the same Zoom? So you wake up and someone else is just there.
You and Sam Ennis.
It's happened before twice where I woke up and someone else is just also camera off, just there. It's like an hour later.
Asleep.
I was just definitely still asleep. You're having a little sleepover with someone.
Alternatively, going off of like Jack realizing he's not muted.
So
This
funny.
this didn't happen to me personally, but it happened in my class. And it's with a professor I actually have now too. Shout out Professor Ross.
Shout out.
But what happened was he's a very like affluent guy. You know, he's like he travels across the world. He's very sweet. He's very like he gives a shit about his classes. I really like him as a professor. But for all the freshmen coming in, it was like, oh wow, this is my first time having like a teacher who's like cool.
Yeah.
And like is clearly wealthy and like this and that. And
What does wealth have to do with it?
well, like
Why is that important?
I'll explain why in a minute because some girl in the Zoom class was unmuted and she didn't realize this, and her webcam was on, and her and her friends, like her roommates or whatever, were just gathered around the laptop, basically shit talking this professor, like on air. It wasn't anything like
that's
heinous,
rough. Oh,
but it was like. They were like, yeah, this professor doesn't give a fuck, like, well, verbatim, like, doesn't give a fuck. He's also, like, super rich, which is crazy. And then Professor Ross is like, hello? Hello? I forget her name, but insert name. You're unmuted right now. And she still couldn't hear him.
Oh, my God.
And he had to manually mute her, like, for her to stop talking. And then like, maybe, like, 2 minutes after he had muted her, she like realized and then turned off her webcam for the rest of the class.
Oh, that's
and
fair.
it was like
Similar thing
know.
too. I remember like some kid in like another class we had. I think it was maybe when we were together, or another G, where just some kid was just like in the middle of this girl's like this teacher's lecture was just like, this is so fucking stupid, bro. I felt so bad for this like really sweet professor. It's like old woman, whatever.
But I think the lesson to be learned here.
Respect your professors.
Respect your
And
professors.
they will respect you.
That's true.
I have a in-person story that sort of relates to that as well.
About you not respecting your professor?
Accidentally. It's similar to your chess.com situation.
Let's hear
okay,
it.
you like chess.com, I like footy. So I'm watching my Arsenal match when it's on because they're only maybe once a week, if that. So I have to see my game when it's playing. So I'm in my...
You know what else is once a week?
What?
Class.
Not to Marlo.
Not
every
to
3
Marlo.
weeks.
This class it was twice a week.
Okay.
It was my...
So once a week for you.
It was a Holocaust class I was taking.
Oh, that is not the class to goof off in.
At this point in the class, we're covering material that I already knew about, so I was sort of like, I was like, all right, I can sacrifice just not paying attention until I watch this game. I've learned all this before in other classes. I'm fine. So I'm watching this match. I'm up front in the front row, and everyone behind me can see that I'm watching a game with Professor Khan. So I'm watching this game. Very intense game. It's a very tight game. We get a goal. We're up 1-0. They get a goal. Tie game. So the very last minute, the 90th minute, the game's going to end. We score a fucking banger of a goal. Goes straight in the top net. And I can't help but vocalize my excitement. And
of course.
I let out a yes! And right as this happens, the class goes silent. I don't know what's going on. I look up, and the professor's staring me in the eyes, and he just changed the slide to the implementation of gas chambers on the sides. And I just cheered. So, yeah, not great. And the kids behind me knew what I was talking about because I could see them watching a match. But the professor was like, what the hell was that? I gave the worst excuse of my life, too.
What did you say?
I said that I just got word that my sister's having a boy.
Why didn't you just say you were watching soccer?
That felt more disrespectful for some reason. I don't know. I didn't want to say that while he's talking about like the worst atrocity in human
That's
history.
so bizarre to be in the middle of class. Yes! My sister's having a boy!
I don't know. Anyways, point being, respect your teachers, or if you're just watching something in class, just shut the fuck up about it.
And just
pay
be aware
attention.
of your surroundings. Like people not realizing they're muted on Zoom, like it sounds dumb, but it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's very easily avoidable. No
And in real life.
But yeah,
like,
and in real life.
People think that you can't hear what they're saying, but you definitely can.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yep,
That's
true.
all.
Just make a habit of muting anything you have.
Yeah, like sometimes you have a roommate that does certain things.
I got a good story. I got a good story about that. Well, I guess my advice would be to the incoming freshmen is to pick the right roommates, and this isn't for you guys mainly. But I will say I had a roommate at Chapman Grand who will go unnamed, who was like a legit freak of nature. I'll just start by saying he had to go to therapy because he was obsessed with Clash Royale. That's not a joke. He had to go to therapy because he was obsessed with Clash Royale. So I couldn't play Clash Royale in front of him because he would like fiend. He'd be like,
Really?
he
Oh
would
my
like
God.
start shaking. He would like play like 20 hours a day.
Oh my
Holy
Clash
shit!
Royale.
It's not that fun.
It's pretty fun.
Oh,
I
it
don't
is
even
fun.
like to go to therapy for it. But he also, the top of his head was like singed because he like burned off his hair like right before I met him, dude.
Doing what?
I don't know. I think he was like a big smoker, so I think he just like lit himself on fire like slightly. But the main story here is one night. This is at Chapman Grand. Thankfully I had my own room, but I was up at like 4 a.m. watching a movie or something, and I hear he had a friend visiting him, whose name I think was actually Mauricio.
Mauricio.
But he had a friend visiting him, and a girl visiting him as well. They come in at 4 a.m. like clearly drunk. I can hear them like drunk, and I will just say, 2 guys and her. The stuff I heard is like unholy. They didn't even bother going to like
the room,
his own bedroom. It was in the living room, and I got confirmation of this later on because I walked into the living room the next day, and there's a sex swing.
Oh my
There's a sex
God.
swing. So this guy was actually like a sexual deviant.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Like 90% of like the stuff he talked about was like women.
So he was a nymphomaniac and a Clashomaniac.
Yeah.
And didn't
Crazy.
he may have had a hand in
He may have-
something else that occurred to you?
There was one time, my first time at the D. I don't think this story's ever been told here.
Not
I think
live.
maybe alluded to, but
It has been alluded
not
to.
fully discussed.
Where I was
This is crazy.
something was slipped in my drink, and I woke up, thankfully, in my own bathtub with the water like up to my chest,
With your clothes
with
on.
my clothes on, like fully clothed. And I was with him. Like it was like the first week I'd known him.
It was just you and him.
It was just me and him.
I'd pay to see the security.
Did he
camera footage
talk
for
about that at all? Did he like?
I never brought it up.
Do you think it's weird to bring it up to him now if you see him?
He texted me like a month ago. I think I was with you
Really?
guys, and I was like, "Damn."
He keeps in touch.
But I haven't responded to him.
Did he? What did he say in the text? He's like, "Hope you're doing well. I'm still playing."
No, I didn't
Clash."
even open it. He was like, he just said "Hola, Dani," because he's from Peru.
Yeah.
So and then I could look right now and see what he has to
Let's
say.
see.
Yeah.
He's like, I wanted to apologize, by the way, for putting that
Roofing,
Molly in your Long Island iced tea
And
at the
leaving
D.
the
Four-
sex swing in the living room.
Yeah, and that was
My fault.
4 Xanax.
My fault, guys.
My fault.
Let's
Blacked
see.
him out.
Let's see.
I do actually have another roommate situation story, not about you guys, about a past roommate I had that I think is just a wise piece of
I've got quite a few
sage
stories
wisdom.
about my
Yeah.
roommate in the K.
I know. So
Quite a few.
actually, I'll let Danny pull up this text. I'm curious what it has to
Yeah.
say.
What do you say?
I think he might have deleted it or deleted WhatsApp because it's gone.
I was on
shit.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, it's on WhatsApp.
Ah, well, makes sense. He's in Peru.
He's trying to cover his footsteps.
Sorry, I should have
Yeah.
mentioned that. Anyways, yeah. So I live with someone who is a really good roommate in majority of the ways, but he had this Brita that, or they had this Brita. He had this. I fucking he had this Brita.
Someone had a Brita.
Someone had a Brita that I live with, and you know it was his. So I was like, great, I have to buy shit for my
Chill.
place. I was like, okay, cool. He's got a Brita. We're awesome. We're good to go. But I swear to God, I don't know what it was with this Brita. It tasted and smelled like unwashed.
Unwashed what?
Just genitalia. It just smelled and tasted
the water?
awful. The water. It was awful. And I thought I was going crazy, but then one day you came over. Hello.
Yo.
You and Bella came over. And I think everyone did. And I poured you water. And finally, no, Philip did. He took one whiff and he was like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the year, I just got free Starbucks water for the entire year to drink because I was like,
mean,
I don't
that's
want
fair.
Yeah, but I should have just bought myself a Brita. Point being.
Are we
if
talking
there's-
about the Brita?
Yes. And point being,
Brita
if there's a problem and just fix it yourself. If you're coming across, do not. If it's maybe like, oh, well, my roommates, it's their thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just get yourself a.
You got to
to
be
it.
self-sufficient. If your
Yes.
roommate is not going to pick up the slack, like you got to do that
Because I was
yourself,
severely dehydrated
you know?
for about 4 months, essentially. So I would just go ahead and just say,
Exactly.
take care of that yourself. I'm not gonna lie. I regret not doing that myself.
Are we live on YouTube right now?
Yeah.
Yes, we're live
hell
on
yeah.
YouTube.
Um,
Let me get this cam.
What was your do or don't?
Do or don't.
We just been talking about like general advice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys don't have do's and don'ts? I thought that was the thing that we were doing.
I mean,
I had like do pick like good roommates.
okay.
Yeah. Do pick good
Mine was
roommates.
do. Yeah. Mine was do. take care of yourself.
Yeah.
When you need to.
Don't
advocate for
Don't
yourself.
play chess or watch football in a Zoom class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or live
Or
class.
just in class.
Yeah.
That's true.
I got some.
Oh, do vape in the Felino. You can get away with this very easily, as a matter of fact. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You can
on
get
air.
away with a lot of
everywhere.
things in the
You
Felino.
you vape everywhere on campus.
Yeah,
This is not exclusive
my
to
first
Felina.
interaction with Marlo was in Zoom, seeing him vape in Zoom class. That was the first time I ever saw Marlo.
And it was a
It's
great
like the Phil's interaction we had. You know what I'm talking about? Where I was at Phil's.
Oh yeah. One of the first times I ever saw Quinn, I just saw him like walking. Can I say it?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
walking through villages
whatever.
with a blunt.
With a joint.
With a joint. And we went to Zito's after.
And that was the day that we decided.
That was the day
that
we
was our
decided we were
future.
gonna get Zito's.
Yeah.
That's some sophomore year shit.
You guys then committed.
Can I?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
type in.
Don't conform / join Greek life.
Yeah. I think that's a valid
Okay,
one.
but those
take.
I just want to do / because I wanted to hit two at once. But those are both kind of separate. Like I mean they're separate, but they're also intertwined. For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Conforming, I just feel like there's a ton of pressure on college kids to just like fit in with everyone. And with that kind of comes with the whole Greek life thing. But I personally just view Greek life as low-key just a fucking cancer cell to like society. If I'm gonna like no, I mean I'm sorry, bro, but it's just like the exclusivity and the like. Okay, basically, bro. I don't know. I just don't fuck with it.
I love your dudes. They're really like genuine.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
I think going off of that, to kind of elaborate on what you're saying about Greek life, I'm friends with a lot of people. We know people in Greek life who are not like. If you ask them how their experience has been,
they just don't fuck with it.
At best, it's like mediocre.
Yeah,
and at worst, it's like, oh, I left.
But I do want to speak on that because I did speak to Max about this recently when we had our beach day together.
Yeah.
And,
There's a lot of air to fill then.
Don't make sure you know where you're going with your friend when they say they're gonna go just you two together to a beach, and make sure you know what the beach is before you go there. Anyways, he was saying, he was like, yeah, I don't really care about it much now, but it was nice when I first came here because I sort of had no friends coming from another state.
Yeah.
And the friends I initially made, you know, he still is friends with today, loves them, but he wanted more and some more variety in terms of what he was doing with his friends.
Yeah.
And so he did get that from Greek life. And he was able to look at the hazing process as like being a big joke, but he's like, just don't take it seriously. And don't be shocked.
But I despise that. I despise that you just don't take it seriously when there's kids that are like hazing the fuck out of people and like getting college kids killed from their stupid hazing.
No, I agree with you.
Like I just think Greek life in general is a net negative. Like we can have what's the word
Co-ed.
We can have co-ed parties in 2024.
Yeah,
like
that's
I
true.
mean it's just like the entire thing is like just treating. Not to be like that hashtag that feminist dude, but it's like not allowing guys into parties creates a thing where it's like women are like the sought after like thing in parties. I don't know.
No, you're not wrong.
But like y'all understand what I'm kind of getting at. It's just some weird like.
Well, it's very outdated.
That's what I'm saying. It's extremely outdated. I just like you can join a club, join anything,
or a professional fraternity,
or a professional.
Which is
those
co-ed.
are cool. Yeah,
Those are co-ed.
I fuck with those. But just like Greek life in general, I just think is a net negative.
Well,
and no disrespect to people in Greek life.
And
but
it's
just, like,
and it's crazy because like here at Chapman, in comparison to larger universities, like people treat Greek life here like it's like this like do-all thing of like if you get involved with Greek life, your Chapman experience is going to be great. Dude, you are like, in comparison to some of these larger public universities or even the larger private universities that have Greek life,
their Greek life is going crazy.
Like, we don't even have a Greek row. It's like individual houses and
Greek,
whatnot. And not only that, but it's like you think Greek life here is like insane. Go to any public school in the South.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
It's just even more ridiculous.
Or just USC.
UCLA.
It's just like such a ridiculous thing. I don't know.
People hype it up here like it's the shit, but I promise you it is like it pales in comparison to these larger schools. And I'm not saying that by joining Greek life in a larger university, it's like gonna be better because it's not, honestly, at the end of the day. But at least like have some self-awareness and recognize that like you aren't shit at the end of the day because you're in some frat or sorority.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
you know,
It's very egotistical as well. I just find
now no shade because we should probably clarify we have a lot of friends who are
in
involved
Greek
in
life, and like
we love them.
Not a lot.
Well,
a few.
Yeah, we have
not
a
a lot.
We have some that are definitely tuned in who are in Greek life, and I just want to say that like that is no disrespect to those who are involved. Like
right, no disrespect to those who are involved, but I don't like the organization.
But as the organization as a whole, like I don't, at least I feel like we can all say is like very toxic and definitely a net negative.
I think it can breed toxicity.
Yeah,
majority of the time, not always.
I think it's built to.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like the foundation of it builds toxicity.
Did you guys ever consider joining?
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I got an informal offer from a fraternity that I will not name on air, but
SAE.
No,
definitely not. DK.
I would rather no. But I had friends in it. This was junior year. I had an informal offer from like one of their execs who I knew and had worked with, and he was like, "Hey, like." If you want to join, you'd have like an open bid. Like there's a lot of people in our like fraternity who are involved in the arts, just like you, and it'd be a cool way to like network and whatnot. And I respectfully declined, and I was like, I don't want to. Not only that, but there was another fraternity who's not even on Chapman's campus, who I do not mind name dropping, Kappa Sigma of Orange County. They're not even affiliated with Chapman University on an official level.
Oh, they were trying to get you to start a chapter?
They were trying to get me to be a founding father.
That's so funny.
And this was literally on my first week of school at Chapman. And what's crazy, here's a story. I accidentally butt dialed my mom while I was meeting with the people who were trying to get me to become a founding father. So my mom heard the whole conversation.
Wait, so this was in person?
Yes, this was in person. This was sophomore year, right as I moved into the K.
Gotcha.
So literally a guy from the K like yanked me. I'm not gonna say his name, but you guys you have met him. He's a piece of shit. Yeah. And they were like, we want you to be like a founding father, this and that. And I like my mom heard the conversation.
Did I meet him recently?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. Go on.
And my mom called me back like a little while after the conversation happened. And she's like, you butt dialed me, right? I'm like, no, I didn't. She's like, do not fucking join.
Yeah.
That. Like,
if it's who I'm thinking of, that fuck that dude, and fuck that. Fuck Kappa Sigma.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Anyways.
But not at all.
But what's it? Let's jump ahead. What's a positive that we can think
Well, I was going to say, like, just for this is again for the coming in class for freshmen and sophomores, because I fucked this up royally.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't, because it put me, again, I bounced back fine for sophomore year, but it would have been helpful if I didn't do this. I regret not doing this sooner. Make sure you check your housing application on time.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize it came to June or July. I was abroad. And I didn't realize that I had to submit it back in April or something. So I was just sitting there in COVID in a house stuck with my dad.
Oh,
and the entire time my dad was like, "You idiots! You forgot. What do you mean you forgot how to do the housing thing?" And I was like, "Are we paying for that?" And I was like, "No, we're not. He was like, "Oh, okay, then never mind. It's fine." But I was like, "We're gonna pay for an apartment." He's like, "Oh, fuck!" And I was like, "Okay."
Oh my god.
But like,
so where did you stay at the beginning of sophomore year?
So
because of this, I didn't realize what
yeah.
this was because of.
Yes, so I managed to find an apartment through Facebook, connecting Chapman students, but I wasn't able to move in until about mid-September. So I had 2 weeks of school that I had to stay somewhere for. And I had nowhere else in Chapman to stay except for the Best Western on Chapman Avenue, which cost me $2,000 to stay at for 2 weeks. So do not do what I did. Make sure your housing is set up well ahead of time. Doesn't matter if you're in an apartment off campus or you're on campus. I wish I did, because I didn't realize that Jackson and I would have probably roomed together, which would have been nice to actually have a friend.
For context,
immediately.
Marlo and I had Spanish freshman year, and I went out of my way to try and find them on the housing application. I could not
because I didn't do it.
And
Marlo, this might be exclusively a youth thing.
And I think
we all got our house.
And I didn't have his Instagram either, so I was like, I can't find this.
There might be others like me. It's okay, And if you are like me, you're not alone, and I've been through it.
Dude, you were literally trapping out the Best Western.
That's what's
$2,000?
Yeah, $2,000 for 2 weeks. It was.
It's more than
stupid. I know.
That's 2 months of our rent.
Yeah,
that's 2 months of our rent.
I know.
That's insane.
I know that. I needed to be around for the 2 weeks.
I'm sure your dad was really.
Yeah, I'm
stoked
sure
on
Damien
that.
was super happy.
Yeah, I've got an earful for that. Anyways, but I did make some friends at Best Western for those 2 weeks I was there. It was kind of sick, some
other
cool
people trapping
pacifiers, candy,
sapphire,
sapphire, and rainbow,
and rose. Yeah, exactly right. Yep. Anyways, but make sure your housing is sorted for freshman and sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Do not neglect it.
I guess on another note of housing, when it comes to roommates, do some due diligence. And I know it's hard when you especially for freshmen, when you kind of just get randomly paired for the most part. But when it comes to your sophomore and junior year, you can pick who you want to live with. You don't have to be randomly assigned to anyone. Now,
you can in your freshman year too, I think.
There
are people that definitely pick.
Yeah,
I think
you
so.
can, but
you can,
you don't
but
know
anyone.
people.
If you don't know anyone, then you can't. But
but do some research because. And I hope he's not tuned in.
Probably not.
I lived with 3 people in the K residence hall my sophomore year of Chapman, just because, again, freshman year, we were still hybrid, remote, and I was back home. So I came into Chapman quite literally. I mean, I had met people on Zoom and whatnot, but I really didn't know anyone. And the one person I did know from home already transferred out of Chapman. So I was like, that's not a viable option. So I literally just went down my housing application based off of oh, this is who you're most compatible with, and I went all the way down. Everyone was like, sorry bro, I got someone. Sorry bro. And at first I almost got a guy who was 98 compatibility, and then last minute he's like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work out.
Damn.
So I got it starts from 100% all the way to 50, and then it cuts off. And I got the person at 70% compatibility, which in my mind I'm like, all right, well, C's a passing grade. This guy also stays up late like me, because you can see what each person puts for their preferences. I'm like, all right, for the important ones it matches up, right? Our other 2 roommates randomly assigned, and they actually ended up being great. They were fine. I have 0 qualms with either of those 2. I still talk to one of them. Shout out Matthew.
He's in my class. We're in a group together.
He's awesome.
But the one person I shared a bedroom and bathroom with, that I'm not even kidding, and I'm really not trying to over-exaggerate this, made my life a living hell. We're talking substance abuse, and I'm not weed is one thing, but hard drugs is not. In sophomore year in the dorms, dude, that's insane. And we're talking, there was holes punched in our room, in the walls of our room.
Blood.
There's blood. He smashed. You guys saw it. There was literally blood in my bedroom and in the bathroom and on the kitchen counter from him slamming his fist into the glass exit sign. So the exit sign in our hallway broke 3 times in 2 semesters. Each time it was him.
That dude was like a Borderlands character.
Yeah. He would get into constant fights with his girlfriend in front of us, which led to some unsavory.
Let's not go further.
Yeah, well, we won't go further than that. But also, I had to share a bedroom and bathroom with this dude. So there's multiple times where I legitimately thought he was gonna die. He was the worst alcohol poisoning I've ever seen someone experience. There's also times where he ran away. In his underwear, just running down the streets of Chapman in his underwear. I am not kidding.
So the takeaway is
don't room with a knob.
Don't room with a knob.
Don't room with a knob. Now I will say I have ran into him recently, and he seems to be doing much better.
But you can't forget that.
And I'm very happy that his life seems to be on track now. However, I don't forgive and I don't forget that shit. That was, I literally slept in the radio station at times. I slept in friends' dorms sometimes. I slept in my car one night just because I was not about to deal with that. Do not room with a knob. Do room with your best friends, which look at us now.
Period.
That's where we're at. Woo.
I have a do.
Yeah.
Do.
My do, I actually have 6 that I thought of while I was at work. Okay, I think my best do is follow your passion, and that's obviously duh, but I don't know. I feel with college, and with this also kind of goes into one of my dotes, which is care what others think. Again, there's just a lot of pressure and fear, pressure, and distractions. And so many times I've seen those, take hold of people, and they've taken hold of me for God knows how long of college. But I just think, you know, like having a passion project, like, you know, some like rapper type shit that you could do, you know, on SoundCloud or whatever, is just like, I don't know, it's just a fun. Just have a creative outlet.
You got to do something else outside of just school.
Yeah, just
school
make
and
sure
work.
to keep yourself happy in some way, whether it's just going to the gym or like, I don't know, like doing things you like.
Have a hobby.
Have a hobby, man.
How many people do we know that it doesn't seem like they have hobbies?
Literally.
Like you don't do anything. You just like watch TV, movie, and go on Instagram and smoke weed.
Yeah.
Like you need like some sort of hobby.
Yeah.
You know.
Some endeavor.
And that's just for life in general.
Yeah.
And I think going off of that, because it's very similar. Surround yourself with the right people who will motivate you to pursue that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
It took me a while to like contextualize this just because like I didn't really think about it in the grand scheme of things. But I will say that like when we moved in together, like when all of us moved in together, I realized my work ethic when it came to like creative fields was infinitely better than when I was living in the dorms with people who also had their own aspirations, but it was not directly aligned with what I wanted to do. And I think like I've noticed that because we all like are pursuing stuff in film and music and whatnot, at least for me personally, it's definitely pushed me to be more proactive when it comes to that stuff.
I agree.
So surround yourself with the right people, and I guarantee you will see more progress as a result.
People that you both respect and inspire you in a weird way.
Yeah.
And that will definitely reflect back on yourself a lot.
Also, not even joking, I think a do is work a job.
Yes.
Oh, I have that listed. Work a part-time job.
Yeah, work a
I think
part-time job.
You get incredible people skills with that.
Exactly.
Definitely.
It can be, I mean, quite literally anything from working at a pizza shop, like doing retail, or DoorDash. Just something that
It's
keeps
nothing
you,
but beneficial.
Yes. Just
agreed.
Because also, like, there will be times where you're just, like, doing fuck all, and you're like,
Yep.
oh, I want to kind of kill myself because I'm doing nothing with, like, my day. Just go out. If it's just picking up,
Because
honestly, doing DoorDash, or something like that. It's
college is like a lot, like you're doing a lot, but people will say that you don't have time to like do other things,
have
like have a
shit ton of
hobby or
downtime.
work a part-time job, but that's
Yeah.
definitely not true. You
Right.
definitely have ample time to do things like that.
College is way easier than like fucking high school.
Yeah,
It actually was.
It's
I agree.
way easier.
When I was in high
agree.
school, they were all like telling me like, "This is gonna be the hardest part of your life. Like, it's nothing compared to what high
the easiest
school
shit
is."
I've ever done in my life.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, completely.
I do think that, yes, with academics,
Yes,
it's
with
way easier.
academics, yes.
However, with the reality of things, I disagree in that college is, at least for me, college has been way harder outside of academics.
Like mentally.
Well, like,
I mean,
yeah,
that and
I-
also
like,
just like
I
trying
agree
to
with that.
balance. Yeah,
And, like,
stability is the main thing.
Yeah.
Because at least in high school, you have a set schedule of you go to school, you do all your classes, you come home, either you go work your high school job or you go and do homework or you go and
After-school
like
sport.
after school sport, whatever. However, I think where a lot of people start to struggle, especially when they first get to college, is like realizing that they're their own independent person now and they don't have like mom or dad or family or whoever to like make sure they're still like doing shit, so to speak. I think that's when we get to like what we were just talking about of like people not having any hobbies or shit and all they're doing is like
Smoking weed all day and playing
or,
video
like,
games.
video games or like just watching Netflix.
And that's
shit
all.
like that.
That's all fair and true. But the separate thing is, I agree with Danny about the academic part.
Yeah,
Also,
no,
like,
100%.
you
I
can
agree.
so easily reach out. If you're like struggling in a class, talk to your professors.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
reach out to them, or if I don't know, like they're the easiest compared to any other teachers I've had in my high school career, middle school, whatever. I can talk to any professor I have, and they'll be accommodating.
Yeah,
and
just be
and,
honest.
Like, chat with you, and like it's super nice, and yeah, and you can also try and. Actually, I'm not gonna mention my attendance shit, but it's fine. Just
Do show
try to
up
go
to
to class
class.
as much as
Yeah.
you can.
Do show up to class.
I did a really good job up until this last semester of senior year, and it's depressing.
Yeah.
And you want to just try and go to class.
Do
You're
show
paying
up to
for it. Go to
class.
class. Like
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself for not going to a lot of classes this semester. It's been
Also,
bullshit.
going back to jobs, I just want to say one thing that obviously our work situation was unique at Zito's, but like genuinely some of the funnest like moments of that summer were
Chicken
while
ball.
we were working, just like fucking around
Try
at
and work with your
Zito's.
friends.
What are,
yeah.
what
Like-
can you like list off some like moments, for instance?
Danny could probably do it better than me. Like,
Well, it
list
just
off
led
moments,
to us
but-
getting fired.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
we
got
had too much
fired.
fun on the job. But I will say we
Food
would
fights?
we would just try to make our other coworkers laugh. Like we
Yeah.
would just like me and Max, who is sadly not with us today. He's still alive, but he's not in studio. We just like throw shit at each other and yell "food fight." It's an open kitchen; everyone can see us. We would Marlo and Jackson would come in sometimes and order food, and we would just fuck it up. Like
It would just be
completely
so bad.
Make the worst
Penne
thing ever.
Ruiz.
Yes.
That Marlo opened and it literally just like fell out.
Yes.
essentially.
It's meant to be 2 sauces mixed into one. The pasta was overcooked. The sauces were on separate sides of the bowl. Half of it was just plain noodles.
At least I was not the worst cook there.
That was Max.
That was Max.
Yeah.
Also, we worked with like the most amazing people. Like genuinely
stinky.
Not like like they were like amazing, like
can
great
say
people.
it.
I mean, they were good people. They weren't bad people, but
Some-
they were
well,
just
some
hilarious.
Some of
and,
them were
like,
not good people.
Some of them were not great people, but they were hilarious and they were good company for sure.
Stinky.
So, I don't regret that at all. Like, that was like honestly one of the highlights of going to school.
Zito's,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
More do's and don'ts.
Yeah, I mean, I would say do
throw parties.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
do throw
Just
parties.
you know what? Cops cancel you. It's not a big deal. You'll be fine. Just
Especially if you have Nakoma Realty.
Yeah.
do not
It does
go
not
with
matter.
Nakoma
Yeah,
Realty.
that's a don't, dude. If you live in Orange, California,
Dude, I don't know where I get sued.
and
Yeah, I don't
That'd be
care.
like defamation.
Yeah, don't go with Nakoma Realty.
Yes.
As a
Yeah.
company, our experience was not great.
yeah, like,
If you're a sophomore looking to go in junior year or whatever, after do not go.
I mean, I don't feel like we're saying anything
No,
worse
I
than what
know,
the Better Bureau of Business has
Yeah.
to say about
Yeah.
them. 'cause
Yeah,
their rating is
they're
not very good.
outrageous.
They do not care about their tenants at all.
No. Abraham and
We've been
his
living with
father is just
PVC as
trying to
locked
get
for the
as
past
much as
year
possible.
now.
Yeah, our
We've
house
actually
is in
lost the
shambles.
PVC. They come to do tours in the house. They don't even acknowledge
The door
Yeah, we
barely
don't have a
opens.
lock.
The door's
My-
actually, our front door is legitimately a safety hazard. In
My
some
sliding
regards.
mirror fell off, so I've cut my hand on it 4 times now and bled everywhere. It's like
It's
the
okay,
worst
though.
place in the world. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, that's kind of just like,
and it was just point being.
here's the thing with
college.
college and living off campus is where you're going to live
Yeah, true.
is going to kind of suck.
It's gonna be a
no matter
shithole.
what. Because even the place that I lived before our current house, like the bathroom door was fucked up and people would get like locked inside.
I got locked in there,
The
dude.
first,
for
the
minutes.
first
Not about
time I
that.
came to your
Yeah.
apartment, I literally got stuck in the bathroom and was like scream. I started to freak out. I started
Yeah,
screaming.
exactly.
to get
I
out.
remember.
So I'm just saying, like, you're not gonna find a perfect living
No, yeah.
place,
Yeah.
but you
Don't
can
expect
make
you.
do.
You can make
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
I think also a don't, and this is gonna sound weird, so please let me elaborate. Is when it comes to authorities, or like, and I'm not saying like police. I'm talking like within the administration
Yeah.
and the university. Do not take no for an answer. I mean it. This sounds crazy, but hear me out. You know, I've spent a lot of time working with Chapman's administration, whether that's through Chapman Radio, whether that's through the collective, whether that's just through classes in general. And I'm telling you right now, it made me realize that the bureaucracy of Chapman University is set up to not enable students to pursue whatever ideas they want. There's so many checks and balances. There's so many rules and regulations regarding events and whatnot that honestly, and this is something Travis has actually taught me that like I genuinely believe in, is always ask for forgiveness first, never ask for permission first. And it's really just because like if you do something that like really isn't harming anyone else at the school, like, you know, throwing an event on campus or throwing an event off campus and like no one gets harmed and like there's no like damage or anything, like who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Really, who gives a fuck? Because like all of the shows that we've done through the collective, like that's not authorized by Chapman University at all. Any of those warehouse shows, and we've been to the warehouse shows and we know like the shenanigans
That go down.
that go down there. Like no one was getting hurt. No one's getting hurt. No one's getting harmed. And like as a result, it's like, you know, what issue is there? But on paper, they're like, you cannot do this, you cannot do that.
Yeah, they can go
It's
stuff themselves.
just like, you know, the universe, and this applies to a lot of schools. Like the rules are set up to like, in my personal opinion, like stifle progress and creativity within the student body. Just don't take no for an answer. They're gonna tell you at first like you can't do this. Just don't listen to them. Do it. And I think the same could be said about like, especially with like theses and like personal projects and whatnot. People are gonna be
100%.
like, this shit sucks, or like this doesn't make any sense.
Man, do what you want.
If you have a vision and like a a plot, like a route planned out for
Follow
it,
it
don't
through.
fucking listen to them.
Hashtag Mike Scartman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do a little lightning round before we probably pop off with the little do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Okay. Do smoke weed once you turn 21.
Okay.
At least once.
Once you turn
once.
21.
Once.
Like,
at least
do it
try
once?
it.
Yes.
Try it. At least try it.
Do go to Buds of Fullerton.
Do go to Buds of
Go to
Fullerton.
Fullerton.
Don't hop the fence beside the D. They will kick you out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't go to the D.
Don't. Yep.
Do go to Paul's,
Yeah,
go to
do go to
Paul's.
Paul's.
where they have $5 pitchers.
Yeah.
Don't lock your bike outside of the K. It will be stolen.
Don't lock your bike outside of Oliphant Hall. It will be stolen.
Do get a bike. If you don't have a car, you will need it.
Yeah.
Don't
Exactly.
date someone from your school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Quinn on that.
I
Besides
agree.
Jack. If Jack is the exception.
Jack's the exception
Jack's
to
the
that,
one
but
exception.
don't date. I think a better way to say is don't date around at your school.
Don't
Yes.
shit where you
I
eat.
mean, yeah.
Don't shit where you
Don't
eat.
shit where you
Don't
eat.
get a
Yeah.
reputation.
Don't get
Do
a
do get a pet for your house.
Yes.
Yes.
If you have
Yes.
off-campus housing, very worth it.
Actually, I think that's terrible advice, low key. We've just been lucky, but
Yeah, we think it really was.
That's true. We've had great cats and dogs.
Don't skip all your classes.
Yeah.
That will come back to bite
That
you in
will
the
come back
ass.
on the ass.
Yeah.
Do use AI for all your assignments.
True. I can't speak on that right now, but it works. Don't go to Ralph's to buy salmon. It will give you hospital food poisoning.
I would say do in your first couple semesters take as many classes as possible, so you don't have to take a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely do that because now
Like,
I'm in my
take like
senior
6
year
classes
doing
your first
5
semester.
classes. Not worth it.
Yeah.
Just
Don't-
front load.
Don't go to McDonald's on Chapman Ave. You will get food poisoning, especially before traveling.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
That was the worst time of my life.
Don't put your address public on Fizz.
Do not promote your party on Fizz unless you do want a bunch of strangers to show up.
Yeah.
I still think we should have done that.
Do not show up to the party until it's been an hour after it
Yes.
started.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's huge.
At
Don't
least
come
an
at
hour.
yeah.
At least an
Come on.
hour.
Yeah.
Do
Like, can we start throwing the parties like just a little bit earlier then?
Yeah, I'm down with that too.
Yeah.
I'm
Start
saying
at,
we
like,
start at
8,
8 p.m. and
so
then it's
people show up
popping
at
at
9.
9.
Yeah.
do get a gym membership at 24 Hour Fitness.
Yeah,
on
go to
Chapman
gym.
Avenue. Yes.
Yeah.
Go to the gym.
It is worth
Even
your
the
time.
school gym, honestly.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
then you'll
True.
meet people that you know and like it works out.
Do. Never mind.
Look on the bright side.
Don't go to the Starbucks on campus.
No,
Oh.
do not do that.
No,
Yeah, I agree with you.
Go to Phil's.
Go to Phil. Yeah, or just
Yeah,
go to the
that's
one up
true.
on.
Or
by
if you want to go to
Walgreens.
Starbucks, just go to the one in the circle.
No,
Yeah.
but it's
like-
nice. I order it on the app like 15 minutes ahead of time, then I drive and it's sitting right
See,
there.
if you plan it out, do that, but
Yeah.
don't be
Don't-
caught
don't
waiting
don't
that
order
long.
there.
Wait,
Don't order
Wait,
there.
can you order ahead at the Chapman Starbucks?
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
can.
What?
Now
They
you
have an app
can.
now.
Yeah.
Oh
At
my
first
God.
you couldn't, and also I'd like to point
That's why I
out
never
for
ordered
the
there,
first like
because they had
3
that.
weeks of Starbucks being on Chapman, on campus,
hell.
like the wait time was over an hour. and
Yeah,
a
it was
half.
like unbelievable.
It was like an event to get a coffee.
Yeah.
So you're going to Dutch Bros. Do go to Dutch Bros. Over.
Do go to Dutch Bros.
Yeah.
We got one in Fountain Valley now.
Do play airsoft.
Do
play
play
airsoft.
airsoft. Do go to In-N-Out if you haven't been to it yet before.
Yeah.
If you come to
Also,
California.
and this one's a little long-winded, but do like be a little outgoing and like kind of
Yeah.
step out of your comfort
Hell
zone.
yeah.
Because I do think it will benefit you. Like join clubs you wouldn't normally join.
Yeah.
At least give it a shot. That's how you'll meet like some of like your good friends, and also just find interests that you didn't know you even had.
Follow people on Instagram, send emails to random people.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Ooh, that's a big one.
It's important.
But like not even joking. Like,
No, I'm
just
serious.
Email
True.
people.
Like if
That's
you
true.
if you have like a favorite artist or like a
yeah,
favorite
an
director,
artist, like anybody.
like, literally shoot them an email. You would be shocked with
Oh.
sometimes how quickly they will respond.
Yep.
Do get an internship at least junior year at
Yes.
the latest
Yeah.
to get for yourself. No matter what major you're in, try your hardest to do it. It'll just be good leaving. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not vital if you don't, but it's really good if you do.
yeah.
Don't post all the time on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Or Instagram.
Yeah, or on Instagram, but mostly Snapchat. Don't. Okay, here's another thing. After you're a senior, after you enter senior year, don't use Snapchat as a
Yeah.
primary means of like
Just don't
communicating.
use Snapchat
Yeah.
unless
Just,
for
yeah,
like a
don't
funny
go
little
around
group chat
asking people
thing.
for Snapchat.
Yeah.
Once you leave high school, delete Snapchat, maybe perhaps.
I mean, I don't even think
I'm joking.
that,
I mean,
but,
we still
like,
use it for like a group.
Are you a
chat
Snap
stuff.
warrior, Danny?
No, I don't use.
No,
I
he
deleted
doesn't have it.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just like don't if you're meeting someone for the first time and you're trying to get their information, do not ask for their Snapchat. That is terrible.
Facts.
100%.
Do excursions to LA whenever you can. It's
True.
fun and it's
Yeah.
good. You're so close.
Or
to it, it's
whatever
not a
major
big-
city you are near.
No, yes, that's true. But
Just
you
give
know,
yourself things
this
to
is
look forward
the
to.
youngsters of Chapman that are just coming in now. Make sure
Yeah.
you go and enjoy LA and the Laguna.
All those
Yeah.
youngsters listening
Yes,
to
exactly
us.
right. Because there's definitely a bunch of youngsters that are getting all this advice, sage advice.
Is there anything before we close out? Is there anything we wish we did that we haven't done yet?
Well, I told you about my housing fuck up.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me.
Trying to
I
think
mean,
of
like
some
that we
don'ts.
still have time to do per se.
Oh,
maybe.
still time to do?
I wish we would have went to Cabo.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
True, I agree.
I think it would. It was like Ben told us it was $800
For an
for
all-inclusive-
the entire thing.
Yeah.
For the entire
Yeah,
thing.
actually, do enjoy one of your spring breaks as much as you can.
Yeah, do travel.
Yeah.
Travel.
But I think
Try
we
to
got.
travel.
I think we got like.
I fucked with Big Sur. I fucked
Yeah.
with Big Sur.
Yeah,
But we
Cabo
got New
would've been
York
dope.
too.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
free.
Miami.
And we got Miami.
No, we did some good traveling, but I'm just saying in general, make sure you do on your vacations
Yeah.
or for interterm or for abroad.
And we did
Go away.
Vegas.
True. And we did Vegas. Vegas
not-
was crazy. Do
Give
not.
yourself a limit to spend when you're in Las Vegas. That's all I'm saying about it.
And if someone invites you to a
Nope.
specific club
Yeah,
of some
don't-
sort,
don't
do
go.
not accept the
Yeah.
invitation.
No, don't go.
For real.
Don't go. No, don't go. Do not go.
Or you will. Or if you do get invited, do not bring your credit card with you.
Yeah.
That's also true.
probably a good rule of thumb.
And
If you
do
wanna
not
get
give
home-
your parents access to your banking.
Do
info.
start
Yeah,
a
don't do
radio
that.
show.
Do start a radio show.
Do start a radio show.
If you go to
Do
Chapman
go to the
University-
Chapman Radio meetings if you're in the radio.
Yeah.
station every-
Seriously.
Become the mascot.
Become the
Become
mascot.
the Chapman Radio mascot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
one will be needed soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's so true. What else?
there anything
Do
else?
not go to Albert Tacos.
Yeah, do not
Well-
go
Do
to
go to
Taco.
taco stand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do go to taco stand.
agree.
Sometimes go to Taqueria Way.
No, never go to
I don't know.
taqueria.
Don't go to taco.
Not often,
Dire
but
Straits
go
go to Taco
occasionally.
Unless you want heartburn.
I went there yesterday. I had no heartburn.
Well,
But your
maybe
farts
I've just got
stank.
acid reflux.
Yeah, that's true. But I ate straight beans.
I know.
So
It was so rough.
that's on me.
I think the last one to end on, and also if someone wants to chip in, go for it. I think do take time to reflect and like take in your surroundings because as cliche as it is, things fly by really fucking fast.
It's so. I feel like a
True.
freshman was
Yeah,
like yesterday.
like do take time to reflect and like appreciate what you have around you because, at least in my opinion, it does not feel that long ago that we even moved into our house.
I know, dude.
I agree.
Even though it's
does
been
fly by.
it's about to have been
literally
2 full
so
years
much
now.
has happened though. It's actually
Yeah.
fucking wild.
Like we're all ready to go, but God, it was a fun time. And
Yeah.
you just enjoy every moment of it, and you know.
Well,
try to
and the
ignore
good
bullshit.
news is, and we can announce it on air, we got a house in Silver Lake, bitch.
Silver Lake, Los Angeles.
You know,
Four
Young
stories.
Dumb Geeked is about to turn into the Silver Lake Social Club, and it's gonna be fucking lit.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Play that trumpet, baby.
We did it, y'all.
We did it. We got the
We
Young
did
Dumb
it,
Geeked
Joe.
affiliates.
And the address is.
no.
16.
No.
Shut up.
We did it, Joe.
Um,
We did it, Joe.
We got our whole squad. We got the whole group here.
Writers
and
and
we got
producers of Young
Bella.
Dumb Geeked.
Yeah, we got the
Bella, we got
writers and
Max,
producers.
the writers and producers.
Bella
Don't
Max.
give your intellectual property to Chapman News.
They will fuck it up.
Do
royally screw
let
you
the
over.
Panther write an article about you because
True.
that was a dope ass
That was a
article.
dope-ass
So
article.
shout out the Panther.
And do read the Panther. They just give it. They
Read
give
the Panther.
They, put
They
a lot of
do-
effort to that thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Do not watch
They
Chapman
might
News.
pay attention to that. I might get a comment on that.
Well, it is what it is.
But do
What's been said has been said.
do everything you can to live your best life during
yeah.
college because
Meet everyone
it
you
is,
can.
It is some of again cliche, but it is some of the best years of your life. Make it count.
And
you know?
I think final piece of advice to give everyone for these last few weeks we have: do tune in to Young Dumb Geeked on Sundays at 10 p.m. until the end of the school year.
we have
more
have
episodes.
only
Got a good one
4
next week.
episodes left of Young
Mm-hmm.
Dumb Geeked. Technically, we could do a 5th one, but we only have 4 left.
official ones.
We got to make it count.
We're gonna make it count.
And we've
guys.
got some really good ideas, so stick around. Please tune in. Our last
And
episode
Submit fan art.
and submit fan
Submit
art.
fan
Dude,
art.
I saw one. I
You
saw
did? From
one
who?
Okay.
from someone. Oh, look who's calling me.
Oh my God.
Aaron's calling me.
No way.
Who?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Aaron, one of our coworkers from
From
Zito's.
Zito's, yeah. Maybe he's listening.
Maybe he is.
Yeah, submit fan art or
do
just
some
art.
fan art. And
just
fan
anything.
fiction.
Just art. Just
Yeah.
stuff. Any creative thing you have that you want us to look
DM
at.
our account at YoungDumbGeeks.
It might not be next week though, because we're gonna be missing 2 of our heads.
Yeah.
So
We will be.
It's
going
fine.
to-
Because we're
Who are we
gonna-
missing?
Marlo and I will be
Marlo-
at Coachella.
Oh, right.
Oh.
You guys should do like a Coachella scene
Exclusive?
report though.
I'm down.
Send us
That'd be
back
fun.
We can
some.
do that. I have the tiny mic.
Let's
Do
do
it.
it. I'm
Do it.
so down.
Yeah,
okay, we'll
we
do
can
a
do
YDG
it.
exclusive from Coachella.
Yeah. We'll do like a
for-
reel.
Mhm.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll submit it.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in.
Went over a bit
Hopefully our listeners got some
Some
important
knowledge.
advice
Sage
and
advice,
knowledge.
they did.
That might be the most genuine episode
Yeah,
we've ever done.
I think so.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Peace and love.
Young Dumb Geeks.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Young Dumb Geeks.
I'm in the hood, good. I miss you, what's up? I'm happy you follow me. I make the love with drugs, I can't get enough. Codeine in the artery.
Geeks.
Know what you mean, we good. She came to my hood, and now she a part of me. Hey, okay. Hey. I'm in the hood, what's good? I miss you, what's up? I'm happy you follow me. I make the love with drugs, I can't get enough. Codeine in the artery. Know what you mean, we good. She came to my hood, and now she a part of me. Hey.
Young Dumb Geeks.